Alright, so let's try to learn something today. And I'm going to teach you how to use JavaScript. At least that's what I'm thinking right now because I did promise that I'm going to teach programming last week. I forgot when it is. So to begin with, yeah, forgive me on my video, what you call it, screen because I'm currently this is from Wallpaper Engine and I've chosen uh Aqua. Of course, and news, yeah, from Love Live. So yeah, they're beautiful, right? I could move my desktop like this. Yeah, the power of OBS. So never mind that. Let's proceed to the basics, I guess. So I'm going to show them here, like this. Yeah, I'm going to. I've rather I've scaled down my canvas to 1080p so that I wouldn't need to record as much as 1440p because of my 1440p monitor. So with that said, let's try to open all this Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I deeply recommend, I strongly recommend this uh, editor, IDE, what do you call this? Just editor, I guess. Yeah, I strongly recommend this editor, although this is proprietary to Microsoft, but this 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 thing does its work well. Okay, so that said, we're going to. I've created a folder here in the desktop called Workstation. Yeah. So there's apparently this is empty. There's nothing here, and I'm going to use this as what to call it, the base for everything that we're going to do. Excuse me. Right. So let's try to create some demo project here called JS demo. So what we're going uh I've started I was going to start developing something without even introducing what JavaScript is. So apparently some of you probably already know what JavaScript, but I could present it to you using my Google Chrome here. So JavaScript tutorial, never mind. JavaScript.com, JavaScript Wikipedia. Uh, Basically, JavaScript is just a programming language which is mostly used by web applications like Facebook, Twitter, and too many. Almost almost every website you see, almost every website you see in the internet right now. Well, not almost, probably every website that you encounter are using JavaScript, unless yeah, probably there are very few percentage of websites that doesn't use JavaScript at all. But whatever, because without JavaScript, your website is basically trash. No, 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 it's not. It's just that it's mostly just gonna be static pages, which are like books or something like that, because it doesn't really do anything besides presenting you some information, which are quote unquote useful. Yeah. So the purpose of JavaScript is to manipulate, um they call it DOM. What is DOM again? Document object model. Here it is. Yeah. So let's try to create some basics. For example, let's say let's add a page here in JS demo. Let's say no, no, that's wrong. Let's put it an index that's HTML. You guys have been developing HTML stuff, then probably you already know how to use it, right? Okay, so let's type something here, shall we? HTML, then you type the head. I'm not going to go to the basics of HTML already, because I assume that you already know HTML, but at this point, probably, I don't know, or maybe, well, just follow my lead if you really don't know how to do this. So yeah, so you have the head here, which is not really shown when you develop when you try to I told you guys that I won't go to the basics of HTML, but I'm currently doing it anyway. So when you open the oh, so I was going to explain a wrong thing. Never mind that then. Head, yeah, head. If we put some title here, like the Warudo. So when you refresh it, you can see it's reflecting here, Zawarudo. So we're not going to do focus on that, of course. So let's put the body here. Let's try to put something like H1 and uh, hmm, test maybe. Yeah, you can see test. So let me demonstrate how JavaScript is used in here. So for example, you have this. Oops, sorry about that. Hmm, I'm too fast at finding at typing. What did I say? Script. Yeah, let's put some script here. So this is the basics of how you're going to use JavaScript here. So mm, my phone is noisy. Okay, so I just silence. And so this is this is advanced stuff. This is jQuery. So let's forget it. Let's just going to do some plain JavaScript, I guess, which is basically don't really know. Rather, I know it, but I forgot how to do that because I've been coding in jQuery, in Vue, whatever JS it is. So yeah, there are too many what do you call it, like inherited language. No, it's not inherited. It's just the same JavaScript code. It's just that it's improvised by other architectures or frameworks like Vue.js, React.js, etc., etc. So what we are going to do is what they call vanilla JavaScript, which is vanilla is basically the term uh, they use to describe the default what do you call that? Maybe I should add some notepad here so that I could type some things. Yeah. So basically, vanilla. What the hell? What the hell did I just type? So vanilla, like vanilla JS, vanilla PHP, it's something like that. Is basically the what they call it? Hmm. The the default usage of the said language. Yeah, default because uh I should be sharing to you guys about frameworks and stuff, but let's dive to the basics. So yeah. So let's proceed here in W3 schools, I guess, because this is the most common website which beginners are going to in order to learn stuff, especially on HTML. Okay, so learn by examples, why study JavaScript, learning speed. Ugh, tuksay na. So let's just press next then. Yeah, so document that get element by ID. This is the most what do you call it? The most basic usage of JavaScript. So what is going to happen here is when you put something like an ID here, the ID attribute in the HTML, I assume you already know it. Let's type demo. Maybe let's change it to something else. Let's say header dash one, so that we don't have to copy paste things from the websites and run them just like that. Okay, so you have this h1 header one. So hello JavaScript. So I assume that when you refresh this, I might be wrong, but yeah, let's just try it. So when you refresh it, no, didn't work. So how do we make it work? Probably put script under the body. Yeah. I'm failed as a teacher. So yeah, basically, if I explain this, you could put it here, but put it inside a function or something like run this. Yeah, then put this here up. I'm sorry about that. Okay, am I too fast? I hope not. So document that get element ID header one. So of course it's not going to run, but when you put something here like script, we have to explain this how it works. Well, of course, so that you'll understand. Okay, so if you do this, run this, it's going to change. Yeah. You could also put something like mm, Tokyo Tomare, since the title of the page is Zawarudo. Wait, I'm sorry about that. Tokyo Tomare. Oh, yun. Zawarudo! Alright, so what the hell? Why did I have two scripts? Closing scripture. Always mind your. Yeah, I could zoom it. Always mind your tags so that you wouldn't run into problems later on. In spec element, well, there's no problem at all. Okay, so I guess that's it. So what about if I try to, what about if I want to change some things here, uh, using a text that I want to input or something like that? You could, well, I'll demonstrate it something like this. Input type is equals to text. Yeah, I hope that you already know HTML by this time, guys. Well, just follow my lead. So value is equals to Tokyo Tomare. This is not necessary. You could remove this. You could add this. It's your own choice. By default, you have the Tokyo Tomare value here. Well, you could remove it if you want to, of course. Okay, so what I want to do is to present what I'm typing here and let it appear here. So how do we do that? Also, hmm, no, I'll just add a button here. Let's say button hmm, uh change. That took me long. So yeah, as you can see, it doesn't do anything yet. If you click change, there's nothing that's happening here. So what about it? So of course, what we're going to do is to add another function. Let's just skip the other one so that we could go back to it later or something like that. So let's say change text. Yan. Then docs na. Let's put an ID here, shall we? Or no. Actually, it's like this. One click. Am I right? Don't worry, guys. I'm learning it once again, same as you. So let's say change text. I hope it works, and I don't. Uh, let's change it for now to something else. Let's say star platinum. I'm doing some JoJo references here, aren't I? So, of course, if you run this, it's going to be Tokyo Tomare because run this is being run. Well, if you try to comment it out, you could use comments to make, because comments are not being executed. So you can just add comments here. This is commenting. Then when you refresh it, it's going to go back to the default text, which is test. So I assume that if I'm coding it right, when I try to press the button, it's going to call the change function, which is this, and it's going to change the header into star platinum. So when you try to click change, it worked. Yes. Washoy ne. Yatsa! Never mind that. So what I want to happen is whatever I type in here, it's going to appear here. So what are we supposed to do with that? Hmm. Well, in basics, you could do it like this: get element by ID. You you should add some ID here first so that you wouldn't fail. So like text box or something like that. You could name it anything you want. You could name it Yozaburo, you or what? Sorry, I mean. Then inner HTML, maybe that's wrong. Use value. I don't know if I need the parentheses or not. Well, let's just try it, shall we? So you do it like this. Documented get element ID. Then when you're fresh and change it, it's going to be blank. So it failed. Probably it's going to be like this. Change. Yeah. So, UE. Yeah, that's Megumin's mom from Konosuba. It worked. And that's how you do it, kids. Daya Kurosawa is the best girl. Hmm. Yeah. And that's how you do it, kids. So for now, you could proceed with the stuff here. Okay. So I guess that covers the quote unquote basics of JavaScript. How would you start? Yeah. So that's just for now. Let's look forward to my next video. I'm going to think some stuff of what I'm going to teach you. So thank you for watching and goodbye.